that can accompany these schools with the athletic fields, band practice, et cetera, that normally goes along with the K through 12 or junior high and high school use in public schools. However, it should be noted this is a private K through 12 school. They have no plans for these types of uses. This subject site is already developed with an existing building and parking area. It is located along a commercial corridor with the proposed vehicle stacking plan allowing approximately 40 vehicles to stack for drop-off and pickup. This application is not anticipated to adversely affect the surrounding properties. Therefore, staff recommends approval of this application. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Was there anybody from the neighborhoods that came to the
No.
planning commission?
No,
Okay.
there was no one there.
Will this require the city to make a school zone on Eastern Lights and?
No.
No school zone?
No, I'm not aware that private schools require school zones.
Okay.
And you kind of addressed it, but I just want to make sure you feel confident, because we can't have cars lining up on 4th Street.
Correct. We've made it very clear that cars cannot stack on 4th Street or Markwell.
Yeah.
And they do have room for 40 cars to stack.
On the property?
On the property. They also utilize small buses to bring people to the school. And as far as the students who may drive, they indicated that there's just really not that many of them
And there's
because they are a small school.
There's a light on Markwell. There's a four-way stoplight right there on Markwell and 4th. So.
Is there an anticipated enrollment size?
I don't think I can answer that question. If the applicant is here, I would defer to him.
Okay. Yeah.
Good evening. I'm David Heron, the head of school at Antioch Christian Academy. We have an anticipated enrollment of 300 students when we move in,
Okay.
preschool through 12th grade.
And you're starting K through 12 all at the same time?
We currently have
Did
students.
you currently have another school, right?
We do. We're at
Moving
another.
it, or are you adding?
We're at a different site. We currently have those grades at our current site.
Okay. And so are you moving from the old site to the
Yes.
new? Okay. all
Yes.
right.
Okay, any other questions, council?
I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
We've had the motion and second. You can call the vote.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Item 6 is consider rezoning application number RZ 1059 located in the southwest quarter of Section 27, Township 10 North, Range 3 West, being north of Southwest 34th Street and east of Santa Fe Avenue from C3 PU General Commercial District to C3 PU General Commercial District with a permissive use for participant recreation and entertainment, indoor alcoholic beverages, and low point beer permitted, and approve ordinance number 5526. This application is by Thurman Lynch. The Planning Commission recommended approval 5-3, and this is in Ward 3.
Mayor and council, this site is located east of South Santa Fe Avenue and north of Southwest 34th Street. The site consists of one lot totaling approximately 1 acre in size. It is currently developed with an existing strip center with leased spaces. The applicant is seeking to rezone the property for participant recreation entertainment indoor with alcoholic beverages permitted. This to allow the sale of alcoholic beverages, more specifically beer and wine, for a golf simulator business that is currently located on the site. This is a developed site with public water and sewer. Access is provided by North Santa Fe Avenue. The site does not contain any FEMA-regulated floodplain or floodway, and detention for the site is provided with the original development. This parcel is developed with a strip center building with various businesses leasing out rental suites. The surrounding area is a mix of commercial and educational uses, with the Oak Ridge Elementary School located directly across the street to the west of the site, across the Santa Fe Avenue to the west of the site. The Goddard School Daycare is located directly north of the site, and the Southmore High School is located approximately 700 feet to the northwest of the site. The applicant is not requesting to change the underlying zoning, but is asking for a permissive use to allow for the sale of alcoholic beverages at an existing golf simulator business. The applicant does operate the existing business. He proposes it to be a 16-plus entry. 16 and under, it would be allowed with a parent, that offers beer and wine through an auto dispensary system with RFID bracelets or cards, meaning that there is no bartender or wait staff on the site. The hours of operation for members are 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. The general public is allowed only during specific hours. The Envision More 2040 plan calls for this location to be neighborhood commercial. This application was reviewed as to its conformance with the plan. And because the request is not proposing to change the underlying zoning, but just add a permissive use, an amendment to the plan is not required. Permissive uses, by definition, are uses that may not be appropriate in all areas within the underlying zoning district due to potentially undesirable characteristics affecting sensitive uses. Each permissive use application should be viewed as unique and evaluated on their individual merits. This application is seeking to add a permissive use for an existing retail center to allow alcoholic beverages and on-site consumption at a golf simulator business. Although this immediate area is zoned for general commercial uses, there is a concentration of school and daycare uses in the immediate vicinity that must be considered. Additionally, this application must also be considered in the larger context of other potential uses within the strip center. If this application is approved, the approval for entertainment uses serving alcoholic beverages would apply to the entire building without additional reviews from the Planning Commission or City Council. This would include such uses such as pool halls, arcades, dance halls, entertainment centers, uses such as that. While the impacts from a golf simulator that sells beer and wine for on-site consumption would likely be minor in most situations, council must take into account not only the close proximity to the surrounding schools and daycares, but also consider what other uses would be allowed with no planning commission or city council review that fall under this use unit classification. Because of these reasons, staff recommends denial of this application. In your packet, you do have a letter prepared by the Goddard School, and although it is not officially what I would call a letter of protest, it does raise some concerns with the hours of operation and timing being located so closely to their facility. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
So do we know what the current hours of operation are, and are they expected to change?
What has been told to me is that the hours of operation for members would be 5 a.m. to 11 p.m.
So this is a membership thing?
It's a mixture of membership, but they do allow general public walk-ins during certain times.
But the bigger concern is, if we approve this permissive use,
It's the entire,
then the entire building's, a pool hall, whatever could come in, and you're still in that proximity to the schools and the churches.
That's correct.
so
That's correct.
restaurants, does restaurants fit in that?
Restaurants restaurants don't fit in this particular use unit classification. Actually, restaurants could go in this facility as it stands today. To me,
That serve alcohol?
yes,
Alcohol,
the
okay.
difference would be that you're consuming food along with the alcohol, which does make a difference.
Okay.
So this, help me understand, it. There will just be a vending machine, a beer vending machine? I mean, there's no bartenders or?
There's no bartenders. I will let the applicant speak to the actual
Okay.
Yeah,
mechanisms.
I would like to
Yeah.
talk to him. Yes, please.
Thank you. Thurman Lynch, own Land Run Links, 34th and Santa Fe. So to answer that question is when we say there's no bartender or wait staff, that doesn't mean there's no employee there to make sure things aren't getting out of hand, right? Because we got to scan someone's ID in, we got to check that ID. We've got to then put a payment system on file. I have to then hand them an activated RFID card to where they can go up to the set of taps. They'll hit it with their RFID card and they will pay by the ounce basically. Okay, and then so that keeps track of their alcohol use. So we have to monitor that, and the question there is that someone else raised is like, well, if you give permissive use to the whole building, then that's understandable and it's a great thing to think about, but we also have to pass Abel's laws. So Abel has a very tight set of restrictions that say, hey, Thurman, you can do this across the street from the school even though we're less than 300 feet away, but our sales can only be like 35% of alcohol sales, right? So we have to fall in that, and any business that comes in there has to fall into that to where it's a very minor thing. We're doing this, one, to keep membership here, keep tax dollars in more, as other ones are opening up closer, maybe in other cities that have, you know, bigger spaces and they have bar time and things like that. We're doing this more as a concern to keep our members spending their dollars and more and staying, you know, within what we've built and spent a lot of money on. And the other fact of that is our hours are 5 a.m. to 11 for members, yes, but that's not what the drinking hours will be, because I can't be there that long, and I'm not paying anybody to be there that long. So members have special access to where they can key code in and get in. The machines being RFID, they're also hooked to the network, so they have to lock two ways. They have to lock physically and they have to lock digitally. So just because I gave you an RFID card, let's say I gave it to you on a Friday and you come back on Saturday and you never turned it in, that's fine, it's deactivated. We've tabbed you out and it doesn't work until we activate it again. And plus those machines will be off. They will be on a timer when we say, hey, you can serve or you cannot serve. So our staff will have control of all that, and even then we still have to meet all of Abel's guidelines. I can't have a 15-year-old in there running the golf shop, which I can now, it's not a problem, but when that gets in there, I can't do that because we have to watch for over-serving still. We have to pay attention to, hey, I gave Mayor Mark the RFID card, he can't give it to his younger son or whoever he brought in there. You know, he has to be the guy that's using it. And then we have to monitor, he set that drink down, who's drinking that drink. So it's a very confined space. It's 1,800 square feet. My bays are 18 feet wide by about 15 and a half feet deep. I got 4 couches on the backside. I can see everything. So it's a very intimate spot. There is not a bar. These are going to be taps on wheels that plug in and hook to the internet. So there's not a hangout spot. You can't come in and just say, hey, I'd like to drink a couple of beers. I don't have the space for it. And that's not what we're after, you know. And even the Goddard School said, hey, we're not really against this, but we would like you to maybe serve after 4 o'clock. And I know the city can't make me basically say, hey, we'll give that to you if you serve after 4 o'clock. I don't have a problem serving after 4 o'clock. I don't know a lot of people that would come in Monday through Friday anyway and want a beer at noon. Maybe some business guys occasionally. I'm not gonna, you know, we're not gonna say no to that, but also I don't have to serve beer till 4 o'clock. That's not a problem, and I'll go shake that guy's hand and we can make that deal. The main thing is evenings and weekends and just doing stuff that we can do to protect our investment and keep tax dollars here more.
And quick question. How many people do you think you have in your facility at any one time participating?
12 to 14. Tomorrow night I'll have 12 to 14 people in there.
So
Do you have 4 lanes, 6 lanes?
I have 2 bays, 18
bays.
foot wide.
2 bays,
I can only allow up to 6 players per bay. That's all the system will take. And so now, does a golfer bring his wife in occasionally while he plays? Absolutely. I mean, that stuff's allowed and that's fine.
And she doesn't have to participate, she just
Correct.
comes in and watches?
Correct,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we want to be 2 things. We want to be a learning environment for the game of golf. We want to be here for the community. And honestly, we got a goal to grow golf through a juniorship program. And so we're not looking to try to be a bar, you know.
Right, so like if I come in, I can't bring 6 of my friends with me that are just going to come in and drink and watch me play golf. I might be able to bring one of my friends, but
Absolutely, absolutely. For one, that's how I quickly get over my 35% of my sales,
Yeah,
okay, guys?
right.
I mean, right now, I can say in front of everybody, okay, sales right now run about $10,000 a month. So I got $2,500, $3,500 worth of room of alcohol. It's just not a whole lot, and it's more of a, what can we do to keep our memberships happy and for the folks that like it and to keep using it.
What's the majority of your clientele, what's their age group right now?
I have 35 members, okay, and those members are probably more middle-aged members for the most part. I have plenty of retirees that come in Monday through Friday, and as I told the Planning Commission, standard Monday through Friday traffic during the day might be a total of 8 to 10 clients
Is this a
on good
place
days.
that high school kids could,
If they're 16 years old and they can get themselves there, yes, they come in and practice. And I have high school kids come in and practice. But I would also say those high school kids go to golf courses that have the same amenities
Right.
in front of them as well.
I just have the issues, because I've seen the properties. You've got the daycare, you got the other school, you got the high school. Those kids walk over to McDonald's and stuff. And I admire your business and everything. I don't think this is a good location for it. You get 16-year-olds in there with people that are drinking. And, I'm all for a learning environment, but me personally, on that, I just think those two mixing together, and where that's area over there with the people living over there, how it was zoned, this was not something that they planned on being there like that. And I just, with everything with the kids coming there, and if something happened with the daycare, because I know that they're open till 6 o'clock on some things, and I just, I admire you having the place, but I think it could be in a lot better place than being by the schools.
Well, we're really just happy it's in Moore, and if you've looked around at commercial in Moore,
It's not a lot of.
it's hard to find. It's hard to find. So I'm happy just to be in Moore, and I understand you feel that way. I'm not going to change your mind on it. You know what I mean? And I get it, but the other part of that is it's still zone C3. So if Chili's wanted to buy the whole thing and serve alcohol, they would serve mixed drinks, they could get away with that right now. Now, they still have to pass Abel's laws, and they still have to follow all that. But so it's not that it's not zoned to serve alcohol.
Yeah. So how long has your business been in operation?
Since November.
Since November? Okay.
Yep, we've invested. I mean, the other part of that is when I say this, these aren't standard golf simulators. They are probably 10 times more expensive than any of the other ones, not just in this city, but nearby cities. I got the only ones like them in the OKC Metro, to be honest. And so I can't have things out of control because my equipment, each one of those bays are a little over $100,000 each. So I've got a lot of invested in there. So we have a lot of oversight, and we want things to go very well.
And I would guess golfers are pretty serious folks, and most of them are coming in there to learn to play golf better.
Absolutely.
It's not in there. They're not coming in there to get drunk and then play golf.
Absolutely. And most people are in there for 2 hours, so we can.
Yeah.
Now, I guess you could, you know what I
Right.
mean? I guess you could, but that's our job to do it. No different than we trust everybody in here to do their job. You should trust us to do our job to make sure they're not over-serving. Because it's easy for us to turn it
So I'm
off.
assuming a member has to make a reservation to come?
Correct,
certain time?
even outsiders, right? If you walk in and want to get a tee time, you're walking in for luck.
So it's a tee time, just
Yep,
like at a
you get
golf
online
course?
and you book it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And how long does the average person stay?
About 2 hours.
About 2? Okay.
Yep. It's really like 1.8, but
Okay.
2 hours.
What are the hours for the non-members that can just come in?
9 to 7.
9.
Okay, and then on the weekends till 8.
9 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday.
You don't have to be a member to come in during that time.
But they have to have a tee time.
But you have to have a tee time, absolutely.
They can't. I mean, you can walk in off the street, but chances of getting a tee time are pretty
Absolutely.
Everything about it is intentional. You have to intentionally plan to be there.
Yep,
So-
because otherwise, honestly, today was a slow day. It's Monday. So from about noon to 4, I lock the door, and called it good. You know, I shut down that time for members only, because I can do that anytime I want, and then I walked out, because there's just no
And when
need
you're
for.
not there, in members only, they don't have access
Correct,
to alcohol.
correct. Yep, we shut down it, we would shut down the alcohol then too.
right.
Right now, all I have to worry about is
They
locking
can
the
still
door.
get in the building.
Absolutely,
just
they can still
can't
get in, but the alcohol won't dispense. And I gotta follow Abel's laws on that, which are pretty strict. So even after this, I have to go through Able protocols and get approved.
Elizabeth, what was the planning commission's concerns? Those that were
Thank you
voted?
very much for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There were a lot of questions, but not a lot of discussion amongst the members. It was approved 5-3. I think that the 3 who voted against it, the points that were made during the meeting was that although this business model probably isn't problematic, we don't know who's coming next. And, it could be different hours, it could be a different even type of business. And I understand that they are limited to 35% of the sales. But if you have every single unit in that strip center having a business that sells alcohol, and all it takes is one time. All it takes is one time to have somebody who's been overserved or who's impaired somehow. And, we just have so many schools in the area. I think that was a consideration.
Okay, yeah, I just try to, so if this business were to leave or relocate, then another business could come in under what we would do here and sell alcohol there.
That's correct.
And it may not be as,
Well, they
have
can
as
come in
much
and do that
oversight.
without this. They can do that also.
Well, but only if it's a
A
restaurant.
restaurant can.
A restaurant
A
can
restaurant,
come
but
in. Yeah.
a pool hall,
A pool hall, arcade center, those type of things could
Yeah.
come in, if this was approved.
Yeah.
Would come in without any sort of council notice.
Would a nail salon fall under that?
They have what's considered a complimentary beverage.
Okay, they're not selling it.
They're not selling it.
okay. Any other questions, council? We just need a motion on what,
I'll make a motion to deny this.
Second.
okay, we've had the motion and second. Would you call the vote?
Kathy Griffith,
No?
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
No.
Louis Williams,
No.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Okay,
What
and
happens now?
a tie. Well, we don't have a council member here. That messed us up. So what is that?
What's that mean?
Not approved.
Okay.
It fails? Okay. Okay, so
The denial was not approved.
That's correct.
So,
Oh, the denial is not
yeah, the
approved.
denial was,
So what?
so where are we then now?
So what happens?
Right where we were?
Okay, so now we need a motion, but if we do a motion for approval, it's gonna be the same
It's gonna
thing.
fail too.
Right. So, then
Carry it to the next meeting?
carry it to
or
the
is that
next
how we do
meeting?
it?
I would like a little bit of time to think on it. I want to go over and see his business and understand.
Okay, so the motion has denied, maybe a motion to table?
Okay, I'll make a motion to table.
Yeah.
Second?
Second.
Yeah, I think that'd be good for people to go over and.
I do
look at it.
I do like that idea, no matter what our vote was, to go over and look at the facility.
Thank you.
Okay, so the motion to deny failed, and the new motion is to table the item until the next council meeting? Yeah. And did we get a second?
Yes.
Would you call the vote, please?
Sid Porter,
No.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item's tabled. Thank you. was a new one for us.
Yeah.
Item 7, is consider rezoning application number RZ 1060, located in the northwest quarter of Section 31, Township 10 North, Range 2 West, being south of Southeast 34th Street and east of Bryant Avenue, from A1 Rural Agriculture District to A2 Suburban Agriculture District, and approve ordinance number 5626. The application is by Vince Dennis. The Planning Commission recommended denial, 8-0, and this is in Ward 1.
Mayor and council, this property is located at the corner of Southeast 38th Street and Turtle Creek Road. This is in the Turtle Creek neighborhood. The property is currently 5 acres in size. It is zoned A1, rural agricultural, and is developed with 1 home. The applicant would like to rezone this property to A2 to facilitate a lot split for the construction of a new single-family home with the newly created lot. The property currently has access to a 8-inch public water line. This property does not have access to city sewer, and private septic systems are utilized. Access is provided from southeast 38th Street and Turtle Creek Drive. These are private roads maintained by the Homeowners Association. There is no FEMA designated floodplain located on the property, and Turtle Creek Addition was developed prior to the adoption of detention requirements. However, if this application is approved, the newly constructed home must comply with the 2021 drainage criteria for infill development. The subject site is located in a rural neighborhood established by a Plato survey many years ago. The Plato survey is unique in that it is meant to establish acreage lots and were not subject to city's platting requirements. However, as lot splits begin to occur, this neighborhood takes on more density without public improvement standards as specified in the city's subdivision regulations. This is especially important with roadway width and construction standards to accommodate the increase in traffic that would accompany the increased density. The Envision More 2040 plan calls for this location to be open space residential. This application was reviewed as to its conformance with the plan. And because A2 uses are considered compliant with the open space residential land use designation, an amendment to the plan is not necessary. This application was previously considered by the Planning Commission and City Council in 2022, and at that time, the request was denied. The application is substantially the same as the 2022 application, with no significant changes in the built environment, no change with the comprehensive plan, or the surrounding development. All lots within the Turtle Creek neighborhood are a minimum of 5 acres in size. While this application does seek to increase the densities allowed on just 1 lot, it can be assumed that should this rezoning application be approved, a precedent would be set which could conceivably double the density of the neighborhood over time. This would not only alter the character of the Turtle Creek neighborhood, but would also create a neighborhood that has private streets that do not meet today's roadway standards, and it could potentially place pressure on the city to take over maintenance of the streets in the future. Staff recommends denial of this application. At the Planning Commission meeting, several homeowners from the neighborhood spoke in opposition to this item. They cited the inadequate streets, the increase in density, and the character of the neighborhood as reasons that they oppose the application. Last week, staff received a protest signature list, and I have placed one of those at your seat tonight. Within the official protest area, which is all the area of the land that falls within the 300-foot notification area, 8 verified homeowners are included. There were 4 unverified homeowners that did sign the petition, but they are called unverified because the property is being held as a trust, and so we don't know who the signatory is for the trust. So those are also shown on your map, but they were not included in the land area calculation. If you add up all of the land area within the 300-foot notification area of the people who signed the protest and were verified, this does equal a 32% protest area. This does fall short of the required 51% area that is required for a supermajority to approve this application. However, just the fact that every single homeowner in the neighborhood signed this petition is significant. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. I have a map that hopefully explains what was the area of protest and who signed the signature list in front of you.
Elizabeth, you may not be able to answer this, and maybe the homeowner can. What does their homeowner association covenants, codes, and restrictions say regarding lot split from 5 acres down to 2.5? Do we know that information?
What was explained at the city, or at the planning commission meeting, was that all lots are required to be 5 acres.
Okay.
So there'd have to be an HOA amendment, yeah.
Was there anybody, any of the neighbors that were in support?
No.
No, okay.
And nobody has signed up. Did anybody want to speak on this? Okay.
Terry Gates, 2101 Southeast 38th Street. I'm the current president of the association. Those homeowners within the inside circle, 38th Street, Turtle Creek, and 40th, we were unanimous in opposing this request for the reasons that Elizabeth stated. So I just added that additional list of those homeowners that's not within that 300-foot radius requirement. But, yeah, you know, we got great neighbors. We all moved in knowing these were 5-acre lots. Everybody that purchased their properties knew that going in. We just don't want to set this precedent. The future's, you know, unknown. We don't know what changes might come if that was to be changed. So we appreciate your opposition to this.
Okay, thank
Any
you.
questions? Or
Thank you.
thanks.
And the applicant is here. Did you want to say anything before we do a vote?
Evening. I'm Vincent Dennis. I am the petitioner of this, asking for a rezoning of my 5 acres on this property. I am not the person that has set a precedent for reducing the size of the property. I do live in this subdivision for 25 years. I've remodeled a 2-story home that was unfinished when I purchased it. We've been here 25 years, established businesses in the area and in the neighborhood and employees, and we have complied with every rule in our HOA. The precedent was set by a developer named Hayward that bought one of the 3 parcels, 60-acre parcels of cattle, agricultural behind me. I literally sit on a corner, catty-cornered from this 60-acre parcel that Hayworth developed, where he put 130 homes on 60 acres. Subtract the roads and your infrastructure, each one of those homes is not anywhere near 5 acres, not even near a ½ acre. Because of this development that went in behind me, which the planning board said we don't recommend it, but the city went and approved it, and he put these houses in, there's been several problems because my house is the only house that is in the far northeastern corner of this subdivision, which means that I can stand on my well in my backyard and I can break the windows of the houses behind me in this subdivision, of which, after they were developed by 5 or 6 developers for sale, Hayworth went in and built his, and quite a few of them are rental properties. So they change ownership. And anyway, my property is on a corner of Turtle Creek and 38th Street. My entry to my property is an electric gate on 38th Street in a subdivision. It's a service gate. My driveway goes all the way up to Turtle Creek, in front of my property. I have two complete accesses without having to ask for an easement. I have two accesses to both pieces of parcels, which I've had surveyed for the third time and proposed this plan of changing the rezoning from a 5A to a 2A. To minimum requirement, 2 acres, or 2 acres. There are 7 properties in this subdivision, Turtle Creek. There's only, I think now, 18 owners in here. It was a lot larger than that. It went all the way over to 34th Street. And anyways, those people are not members anymore. They have their own, whatever they do. They don't pay into our dues. But we have 19 members, or payable members. I have not, and I have said this before, not trying to set a precedent by subdividing my property. The purpose of doing this is I want to take the 2 acres in the front, which is easily subdividable, and facing Turtle Creek, which is my real address, even though my sale mailbox is on 38th Street and the access to the back house is on 38th. In order to put a 1-story home on them 2 acres. And take the equity out of the back 3 acres and 4,000 square foot 2-story home. I can't do stairs anymore. I have some health issues since then, with strokes and heart attacks. So stairs are out of the question, but I was a contractor. I've done some, redid some homes and what have you, and I wanted to take and put a home on that 2 acres in the front. I love the area, I love the city, I love being here. My kids, one of them was a teacher here and went to school here. And I had started the Batteries Plus businesses with my wife and my stepson, who still works for the company. Anyway, make a long story short, I like my neighborhood. I've been to the meetings. We've done things together, including me contracting a friend of my family's to pave that subdivision because we're responsible for the roads. It used to be gravel. And I'm not asking them that I want the subdivision rezoned. I just want my 5 acres rezoned to a 2A from a 5A so that I can still stay on my property and build a 1-story home in the front on the real address of Turtle Creek, which I have. Anyway, I know that they're entitled to their peace and quiet and what they want. If they want to change their 5 acres to a 2A zone, then they have to go like I did and go to the planning board, request it, and go before you gentlemen and ask you to rezone it, just like Hayward did with the 60 acres behind me, of which I now understand in November I spoke to the grandsons of the gentleman that passed away that owned the cows behind me, that he has the other 60 acres, and he's planning this November to do the same thing, put in a subdivision like that. I want to get away from that wall, or from that fence. I literally bought 5 acres to have my privacy and peace, and not have fireworks fired onto the roof of my house, and I had to wet it down to keep it from catching fire. So anyways, this is why I'm asking to have the rezoning done. And like I said, there is people here that have protested, my neighbors have protested, but in order for them to take and rezone their property, they would have to put an easement to gain access for the second home. I don't need an easement. I have frontage on both of these roads, 38th Street and on Turtle Creek. And I actually have a driveway coming into both ends. And it's all fenced in. My whole property is all fenced in. I welcome any of you to come down and take a look at it. If you want to take the time to deliberate on this and not make a decision tonight, I'll request you to table it, come down 38th Street, take a look at the property, and I have done improvements on for 25 years and see what I'm talking about. But that's up to you, gentlemen. I don't know how much time you want to devote to this issue, and I thank you for your time. And like I said, I am not trying to set a precedent for the remaining 19 or 18 owners in this neighborhood. That precedent was set by Hayworth and will be set again in November, because all this was supposed to be acreage back here, and obviously it's not anymore. So I'm just looking to go to a 2-2A from a 5A and build my house.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you going to say anything different than what your president stated from the homeowner? Okay.
My name's Robert Nidell. I live at 4100 Turtle Creek Grove Drive. I was the fourth house in that addition. Every one of them contracts said 5-acre tracts, and that's why we bought them, because we was close in, but we had our privacy. And the roads we put in as a homeowner association. I've wanted to send every email out to everybody that owned them lots to get a homeowner so we could get that road paved. It was just gravel and dirt. So I've been there since, I bought that property at the end of 97, moved in 98. And I was the fourth house in that addition. And to make one person happy, he wants to make 18 people not happy. And that's a problem.
Okay, so you're opposed to it?
So, yeah, everybody is.
Okay, all right.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We just need a motion. Council, does anybody want to make a motion on this rezoning?
I'll make a motion to deny.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have had a motion and a second to deny the rezoning. Would you call the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. So the application is denied. Move to the next item. 8 is receive a presentation regarding the proposed animal shelter policies and procedures manual.
Mayor and council, we have looked at the policies and procedures manual for the animal shelter. They were emailed to you last week for your review. Our shelter superintendent, Stephanie Adams Hawkins, is here to answer any questions.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So we've rewritten the SOPs. The direction it's gone, I think, enables us to proceed to develop as a presence in not just central Oklahoma, but all of Oklahoma, and setting the precedence of how we administer animal sheltering. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
I noticed we've talked about an advisory council, and that wasn't in there. Is that something that's coming?
Yes, we're working through the details on the qualifications of the advisory council to bring to council. So we're still working through that.
Okay.
Very good.
And council, I would, if you have any input on what you think the advisory panel should look like, just reach out to Brooks and let him know. Because he needs to hear from us.
Any surprises from you so far?
Sir?
Any surprises from you so far?
Here in the first,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think any surprises. I think it's what I expected it to be.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so I think that everyone's eager to make progress and do some
You've
neat
been
things.
through a storm, so
Yes,
and
sir.
I'm quiet in this whole conversation because I'm not a pet guy, so.
That's all right.
I'm
There's
just
enough of us there.
trying to watch and observe, but that was one of my questions because you were here early on and spoke
Sir.
during that whole process, and so after walking into this, I was just curious if anything had surprised you, so.
No, sir.
I have some other kind of general questions, if that's okay.
Sure.
So I think in the budget, we approved for the surgery suite.
Yeah.
Is that correct? I'm correct in saying
Yes.
that, right?
Yep.
Are we in the process of getting that filled and in use?
Yeah, that might be what I'm most excited about. Being able to build out a surgical suite in our shelter positions us to kind of achieve a lot of those goals that we have of being able to administer quick medical care to the animals in our care. But it's also going to allow us to do a lot of community outreach. It's also going to solve a lot of problems as far as vets go. If we can start looking for a contracted vet that's going to come in and be able to operate right out of our facility. And
Will we begin to do spay and neuter?
Yes, sir.
All ourselves?
yes,
Okay.
sir. So we'd be able to start looking at community spay and neuter programs, low-cost spay and neuter programs, community CAP programs, TNR, which is trap, neuter, return, where you have feral cats that are just out there multiplying. For us to be able to do that, we have to have a contracted vet or a vet that can
That's what I was gonna say.
operate.
It'd be a contracted vet, right? Okay.
For right now, it's a contracted vet. Ideally, we would have an on-staff vet. That's pie in the sky that really sets us up to set the standard in central Oklahoma, is having a staff veterinarian. But the funding going into setting up this surgical suite is gonna kick us off to be able to have that contract vet to lead into some really neat things we're gonna do.
And just so the mayor and council knows, the capital outlay for the animal shelter that was approved in the budget, typically whether it's the animal shelter or various other things, they're budgeted at certain times of the year. All of the animal shelter items, the surgical suite, the fence, the new turf, those were all green lighted and approved for order in July this month. So it's just a matter of ordering it and getting it installed.
Awesome.
Very good.
That's great.
Very good.
And staffing levels, are we where you think we need to be?
Yeah, I think we're very well staffed. We haven't been very well scheduled. So I think we can optimize our staffing better by redoing some of the schedules. And so we launched that out to staff actually in a meeting this morning about what new scheduling will look like. And it's going to allow us to be fully operational 7 days of the week. Right now we have a half day on Sundays where staff comes in, gets the cleaning and the feeding and the medicating done, and then they leave usually about noon. With the new schedule, we will be able to be fully staffed 7 days a week, both with our officers and our kennel staff and in-house staff. And that's going to allow us to be able to provide care and services to the community more hours of the day.
Has this new policy and procedures been implemented yet? Or are you still in the drafting of it?
So no, this is what you guys have is my final draft for your feedback. We have started to implement some of the things already, just operationally. And so this will help us formalize that. And implement
But it
further.
hasn't been put out completely 100%. This is everything. Because I come from a world of policy and procedure back in my former life. And one of the things that I know we've talked about this advisory board and talked about, and since it's going to be in part of policy, when you're rewriting a policy and stuff, it's good to have it, boom, everything right there before we say this is it. And, because I've heard different things, and I still get emails on that. So can we have like a timeline on what this advisory board may be done to put that with it? Because you don't want to put policy out and then come through, put another policy out because we added something, especially with what you've done and all your people have come together writing this policy, which in my opinion is well-written. There's a lot in there, and it needed some stuff in there. And just kind of the final thing with the advisory board, and I know I'm talking to two different people here and stuff, but if we could have a timeline of when we may know something about that. There's other people that have these advisory boards around here, and I don't think it's going to be real hard to have to get something together and start advertising to bring that together. That's just my 2 cents.
No, certainly. Waiting to hear back from the council on their thoughts on the advisory committee, and we could have it on the agenda for the next meeting or certainly the one after that. So it can be done quickly.
Very good.
And then my other question is, record keeping has been a little bit of a problem in the past. Are we back up on, staying on top of things? Do we have the right software? Are we good?
Yeah, and that's another thing I'm quite excited about is we've just signed a contract for a new shelter software system. It's called Shelter Love. We have previously been utilizing Shelter Pro. Shelter Love is much more modern. It's used across multiple shelters, so we'll be able to share information with other shelters when we're transferring animals in and out, like with the flights that we do. A lot of those rescues out there use Shelter Love, and so it's fewer steps for us to transfer animals out. It's going to enable us to, it's going to solve a lot of bottlenecks that we've had. So in how we document medical things with, right now we're using remote vets. So vets that are off-site, it's going to allow them to have access with an account to prescribe medications and for us to put in any concerns. And so we're not skipping any steps or missing anything medically.
Be able to do that remotely?
Yes, remotely. Yeah, so we can set them up with an account, and we have to be very careful with how we utilize veterinary care. And so having a vet sign off on things and prescribe the things we need. But then there's a bottleneck because with them being off site, how do we report this medical issue? And how do we get it quickly so that this animal can get immediate care? And with Shelter Love, they'll be able to, we'll be able to put in the medical concern. The vet can essentially prescribe and, go through the diagnostics right there in Shelter Love. And then it's also going to allow us to, when we do intakes, one of the most stressful times in the shelter is when we are doing intakes at the window or doing adoptions. And so stopping and doing that paperwork in those moments, it puts a lot of pressure on the person working in that moment. And when you have software that's kind of working against you because it's dated, that's an added frustration that you just don't need in a shelter environment. Shelter Love makes it very easy. It's very application-based. So being able to input an adoption right there in the moment, they can complete the entire adoption on their phone, or we can have an iPad as a kiosk. And then it allows us to accept donations. So when they pay, it provides an option for them to also make a donation. The examples I have is down in Norman, when they implemented it, they took in $9,000 in donations in their first year using it. Down in Pauls Valley, they took in $35,000 in donations. The software only costs $2 an adoption. So if we do 700 adoptions a year, it costs us $1,400, but really we're net positive because of all the donations that come in with it also. And again, it takes operational pressure off of our staff to be able to let the person do the adoption themselves. It cuts down on paperwork also, so they can get everything emailed to them electronically. And if it's someone who is older and less comfortable with anything digital, we can still print that out for them and perform those for us. So it's going to free up a pretty good bottleneck for us on multiple levels by having it implemented.
So does it tie into the website at all to show what dogs are adoptable? Because I know Shelter Pro did and didn't do it very well.
No, Shelter Love does it very well. And in fact, you can, if you go to Norman's website, when you go to their city website and you go to Adoptable Pets, all of those dogs on that are through Shelter Love. So in the moment, right now with Shelter Pro, we could do an adoption, and if the paperwork isn't put in until the next day, it's not live, it's not accurate when people go and look at adoptable animals or stray animals. With Shelter Love, it's live, it's immediate. So if on our website we have pictures of animals that are adoptable and someone gets adopted, immediately that comes off the website. If we have animals that have been stray and they're listed on our website as strays, as soon as they are processed and moved into adoption and we click that, it's a very easy click,
shows up on the
live
site.
on the website, it kicks it over to the adoptable animals. So that's going to be a considerable improvement for us of getting the animals in front of people as soon as possible to get them processed through the doors, which is my number one goal, is how do I get animals, if they're coming in the doors, how quickly can I get them out as safely and humanely as possible? And Shelter Love lets us do that.
Stephanie, what do you anticipate the transition time to Shelter Love to be?
My goal is September 1st. I would like to be operational with it September 1st. Shelter Love does offer a pretty robust training program, so they have what they call Shelter Love University. When I first learned it, they didn't have that, but it was still pretty easy to learn.
And that's all online.
Yep, that'll be
Yep.
online, so staff can watch the modules, learn it, and then when we onboard new staff, that'll be part of their onboarding process, is training through the Shelter Love modules. And again, it is gonna be so much easier. I personally went through the transition from an old software to Shelter Love when I was down in Norman, so I've experienced it as a staff member as well. So I'm kind of aware of where the sticky points are, where the frustrations were when I was trying to learn it. So I think that as we implement it with that September 1st goal, it'll give us time to learn, to train, to input animals, so that when we fully launch, staff will be confident and ready to do that. Additionally, we'll keep Shelter Pro running in the background for the year. We'll input data, we'll transfer data, but we'll keep that running. And then that way we have that safety net. If we need to look at historical data, they'll do a one-time data transfer for us also. So it's the implementation of it. They, obviously intentionally make it as easy as possible to get us onboarded quickly.
Very good.
Okay. Anything else?
Just want to commend you guys for the efforts you've put in to find homes for the pets, the plane flights to the other parts of the country.
Thank you very much. Staff has really gotten on board of, how can they help? How can they be part of the solution? And change is hard and change is different. But I feel like we're really coming together to do some pretty neat things down there at the shelter.
Cool. Very good.
And I know we have some shelter staff here. Thank you guys too.
Yes.
Yep. Well, hey, Brooks, I would just say maybe let's try for August 3rd. That'd be the first council meeting. Sure. To have something for the Citizen Oversight Committee, or what ultimately it'll be called, of how many people will be on there and how many citizens, how many professionals, just what we're thinking. And then City Council, y'all just communicate your thoughts to Brooks as well, so he can take all that into consideration and get something out to us. All right? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Number 9 is consider approval of year 3 projects of the 5-year contract with Holbrook Asphalt LLC for the street pavement preservation of selected streets using high-density mineral bond in the amount of $299,796.10.
Mayor and Council, the past 2 years, we've utilized this pavement preservation sealant. It adds approximately 5 to 6 years of life to asphalt pavement. It's got to be in fairly good shape and fairly new, but you do get the preservation in the sealant, keeps moisture out, protects from violet rays, and so we would recommend approval of this 3rd year. The areas that we're going to be looking at this year is Apple Valley, Sienna Ridge, Rock Creek, Golden Acres, and Blue Stem.
So we've been pleased with the performance so far?
So far, yeah. The 2 years that we've done they're still intact and look very well, and you can tell that we're going to see some additional life.
And I know that you will, but just be sure and give adequate notice to the homeowners when we're
Yes.
going to be going in? I mean, adequate, maybe 30 days so that they can plan for it.
Right. Understood.
Make a motion we approve.
Second?
We've had the motion and second. You call the vote?
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Item 10 is consider declaring 6 vehicles as described in Exhibit A as surplus and authorized sale by auction utilizing Purple Wave online auction services.
Mayor and council, the average age of these 6 vehicles is about 20 years old. That's the average. So we would recommend that we go ahead and declare them a surplus and go ahead and sell them on the auction.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
With the motion and second, would you call the vote?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Item 11 is consider adopting resolution number 13726, declaring the necessity for acquiring certain real property and/or easements, more particularly herein described, all within the city of Moore, county of Cleveland, state of Oklahoma, for the purpose of Northwest 27th Street and Shields Boulevard intersection improvement project in the city of Moore, and declaring the necessity for acquiring said properties for roadway widening and reconstruction purposes.
Mayor and council, we still have approximately 5 property owners that we've not been able to come to an agreement with or a settlement with, and so we feel that it's in the best interest to go ahead and move forward with starting the condemnation process. We'll still continue to work with the property owners and try to come to an agreement as we're going through that process. Would recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
You can call the vote, please.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item 12 is consider adopting resolution number 13826, declaring the necessity for acquiring certain real properties and/or easements, more particularly herein described, all within the city of Moore, county of Cleveland, state of Oklahoma, for the purpose of Southwest 19th Street and Santa Fe Avenue intersection improvement project in the city of Moore, declaring the necessity for acquiring said properties for roadway widening and reconstruction purposes.
Mayor and council, we have 4 property owners that we've been unable to come to an agreement with, or they have not even been able to respond back to any of our correspondence. So we'd like to go ahead and recommend approval of the condemnation process. Again, we'll still try to work something out with each of them.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
You can call the vote, please.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Thanks, Jerry. We're going to recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item 13 is the consent docket.
Make a motion to approve the consent docket, items A and B.
Second?
You call the vote, please.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item 14 is consider authorizing the budgeted purchase of a rear load CNG sanitation truck chassis from Premier Truck Group in the amount of $155,344.50 using state contract number SW035 with a 20 CY Powell Track 1000 rear loader body to be installed by River City Hydraulics using Sourcewell contract number 91515 in the amount of $138,303, including installation and delivery to the Public Works Yard for a combined total amount of $293,647.50.
Mayor and council, we have just one rear loader that we utilize or have in our fleet right now. And so we utilize that rear loader for dead end and cul-de-sac streets that are made of asphalt. And they're approximately about 10,000 pounds less than the regular side loader. And so we've recently had some repairs on one of them. on the rear loader, and the concern was we had to use the side loader in an area that we didn't like, didn't want to put that kind of a weight onto those type streets. So it is in the 2027 budget. It's been approved, and recommend approval to go ahead and obtain the rear loader.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Call the vote, please.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Item 15 is consider authorizing the budgeted purchase of a Schwartz A8TE street sweeper unit in the amount of $460,260.68 using Sourcewell contract number 062425-SWZ. Public Works.
Mayor and Council, the street sweeper has been approved in the 2027 budget. We do have a 2019 street sweeper that it sweeps and lifts larger debris up onto a conveyor belt. But this particular street sweeper will allow us to be able to, as a vacuum unit, allow us to be able to clean out the catch basins in the storm drain system, as well as sweeping the street. So would recommend approval, and again, it has been approved as part of the 2027 budget.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, and just real quick, do we have a person that's assigned to the street sweeper, or does it just go out as needed?
Well, we typically use the same operator to utilize it, but we train more than one in case they're not there at the time. And
So does it
we
run-
will
does it run-
utilize both of these.
Does it run every day?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Really? I've never
Yeah, I
seen
haven't either.
I believe
I've
you.
seen it
I
out there.
believe
I've
you.
seen it.
It's out there. I've seen it, yeah, it's out there.
I've
It would
seen
now
it.
be on the list.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you where I think it needs to go.
We're welcome to the highest
$500,000
locations.
Spark needed something new to do,
Yeah.
so.
Yes. Okay, we've had the motion and second. You call the vote?
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. At this time, we're going to recess the Public Works Authority meeting and convene a more risk management meeting. 16 is the consent docket.
Make a motion to approve the consent docket items A and B.
Second.
With that, you can call the vote.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Consent doc passes. We're going to recess the more risk management meeting and reconvene the city council meeting. All members that were present are still. Item 17 is new business, citizens forum for items not on the agenda. Nobody signed up. Did anybody want to speak about something? Item B is items from city council trustees.
I'm sure other people say the same thing, but I want to thank Public Works for all they've been having to put up with some of this weather, and the public servants, and actually everybody works for the city, from the phone calls to extra people coming in, and especially 4th of July. You basically did 2 4th of Julys, and I want to commend our city manager for making the right call. If others would have followed him, they wouldn't have probably had some of the problems that they did. But I've always, in my idea, that safety's paramount, number one, to a show or anything. We can always have a show, but if we have danger coming, and I just like to thank the men and women who had to work overtime and those that dealing with the storms and everything, and thank you so much for that. And just one other, I wasn't here last council meeting, but I just, with the new distribution center and everything, the pharmaceutical, and so glad to have that. And I've heard a lot of comments, but, obviously we appreciate our governor and the county commissioners and our staff and everything. But I want to thank all the citizens and more, because time and time I hear again, and talking to the folks there from the pharmaceutical distribution center, of how they went around, how they love the citizens and more, how they love the people. Everybody's so nice and love. And that's why these companies and stuff, they want to come here. We all know what Moore's all about. That's why we're all here, and everybody's been here a long time, wants to come here. But thank you to the citizens for your support for all of us, and because you make it easier for us. But this is the rewards that we get because of the type of community we are.
Yep. Here, here.
Okay. Anybody? Melissa?
No, I mean, echo what,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I would.
Sid said it all.
Yeah.
I would too.
So how was the drone show?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I've received a lot of positive comment from the community and just random text messages, and they were all good. I think one person was upset because it wasn't high enough in the sky or something. Well, come on down and you could see it, but it was great. That's the first one that I'd ever seen, and I was just really impressed with it.
A lot of comments about the drones.
Yeah, and then the fireworks were great. Again, you could hear at the end of the program, just all those that were there in attendance, you could hear them applauding, and they were just really thrilled with it. And so it was just a home run, and having to be flexible and adjust on. Really, the decision was made early, which created less chaos, but it still was a lot of work for all the city staff. I would tell you that I was there and I had a golf cart, but I did have to drive myself on the golf cart.
I'll come drive you next year.
Okay, and that was a little tiring, but
Oh, my gosh. We didn't see a big picture of you at the end.
I know they didn't do that. But yes,
Don't give him ideas. Come on.
great work. And I also just want to say something real quick about McKesson. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so we had the ribbon or the groundbreaking, and then the shovels right down there. Somebody wants to come and look at it last week or whatever. And what an event it was. I think it was scheduled for 2:30, and the storm arrived at 2:30. And we had a great tent that keep the rain off us, but when the wind is blowing 65 or 70 miles an hour, the rain just kind of sweeps right through the tent. But again, the city staff had a plan, and were able to pivot quickly, and we got everybody over to the First Baptist Church and more. We were able to hold the event. And I would tell you, when I drove up and parked, I knew that it was going to be different when our emergency management director is running across the gravel parking lot. Mayor Ham, keep your comments quick. And the storm followed soon after. But we're thrilled to have them. And yes, with Brooks, with Deidre, Jerry, Elizabeth, and so many people working on that to make it happen is just another home run for Moore, Oklahoma, and really for our whole state. And so we're honored and thrilled that they, on a nationwide search, chose this city to build this new facility in. And look forward to having a great relationship with them and with all of the businesses in our city, because we appreciate each and every one of them. And that's what I have. City Manager, do you have anything?
A couple of things. I want to echo some of the things the council said. First, I want to appreciate the communication that we had on July the 4th between the park staff, Gayland, Deidre, myself, regarding the weather. We were alerted fairly early in the morning that while the weather was fine now, it may not be that way come showtime. And so appreciate the communication throughout the day, and it was good that we made the decision we did. And as it turned out, the next night was very nice for fireworks and the drone show. Again, congratulations to the park staff. I know there was a desire for the 250th birthday celebration of the nation to do something a little more and a little different, and I think that was achieved. I heard a lot of good things about that. So again, kudos to the park staff. Kudos to everyone that was involved in the McKesson groundbreaking and the fact that, yes, we had another storm and we had to move that, as was mentioned. And so the last two events, we've had two storms. I'm hoping we're not setting a trend, but, time will tell on that. And then finally, I know that the council is going to vote on the police contract here in a few minutes, but I just want to congratulate the FOP, and I appreciate the communication that we have with that organization, the fact that their members know what's being negotiated, that they're able to express concerns, and it smooths the process out a lot. And we disagree from time to time, but I appreciate the fact that the FOP president will come into my office and have a serious conversation, and we're able to work these things out fairly quickly. And so it's they understand the importance of what they do and what it means not only to the police department, to the city, and so congratulations to them. Thank you.
Okay, and then just one more quick question, or quick comment. It's too funny, so I have to share it briefly. And I know Melissa wants to go watch the soccer game that started at 7. So we were, I'm in law enforcement. Rarely do I have to ever arrest anybody at where I work, but that morning for the groundbreaking at my employer, I had to make an arrest. Somebody had been drinking too much and just causing lots of problems. And it's just, kind of a routine thing. Take him to jail and then come home, change, and get out to the groundbreaking. And after we had the rain, and Deidre again is out there directing traffic, and doesn't look like what she looks like now because of the weather, And she's over there trying to fix her hair, and she said,
dripping.
Yeah, she said, "Do I look okay?" I said, "Well, Deidre, that lady that I arrested this morning looks better than what you do now." But she did the best with what she could. So,
With grace.
yeah. Okay.
I'll hold him for you.
Yeah, let's go to executive session now. Item 18 is Section 307, Title 25 Oklahoma statute permits the public body to meet in executive session for certain specified reasons under certain specified conditions. It's the opinion of the city attorney that the city council may consider and adopt a motion to meet in executive session to discuss the following items. A, discuss, consider, and if deemed appropriate, take possible action regarding pending court case number CJ 2026-16, filed in Cleveland County Court by Donald Smolin on behalf of Stephanie Ford against the city of Moore, and authorize legal counsel and staff to take action as necessary and approve in the interest of the city of Moore, and authorized by 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4. And then item B, consider, approve of the fiscal year 2027 contract between the City of Moore and the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge Number 131, as authorized by 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B2.
I make a motion we convene to executive session.
Second.
Would you call the vote, please?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes. Yes, we'll be in executive session. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
I'm like, it was worth the wait. Let me put it that way. It was so worth it.
He's gonna go back to.
To go from a jetpack that we had to use. And maybe it's been longer than 5 years, but not much longer.
Yes.
No, that was pretty, you're good. That wasn't bad at all. Yeah, right.
All right, we reconvene from executive session. All members of the council are still present. Item E is the action.
I make a motion to proceed as directed.
Second.
On both of the items,
Do them one at a time.
separate?
Do them one at a time.
So on item A?
Yep.
Okay, call the vote, please.
Kathy Griffith. Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. And then item B.
Make a motion to proceed as directed.
Second.
You call the vote, please?
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. And motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Call the vote?
Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, and we're adjourned.
Thanks, everybody.
See everybody.